If you've never heard of OnePlus, it is a relatively new phone company which set out to deliver class-leading smartphones at affordable prices. Their latest one is called the OnePlus 5. Unfortunately, it seems like it falls short on both flagship features and value for money. It has huge bezels, which isn't very 2017, and the price has been increased again. It does have a dual camera, but it's not a particularly good dual camera. So, if you really wanted to get a new OnePlus phone, I would recommend looking around for a second-hand 3T. I've had one for a while. It is not a very exciting phone, but it is a good and a perfectly capable Android phone. It has a comfortable aluminum body with minimal antenna lines, but I keep the phone in this amazing soft-touch carbon fiber case by OnePlus anyways. In terms of performance, as all the other OnePlus phones, it is a beast. Inside there is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 821 processor coupled to 6GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. If that's not enough, there is also a 128GB version. I'm not a huge fan of listing specs as a measure of performance, but I can assure you that the phone is very smooth and nippy in day-to-day situations like browsing the web, replying to emails, doing a bit of office work, playing games, etc. On the topic of speed, it is impossible to miss the lightning quick fingerprint sensor. The phone doesn't bog down, probably because it runs a mostly clean and a very recent version of Android. The screen also isn't as high resolution as some of the more expensive phones, but it still matches the iPhone 7 Plus, which is, in other words, plenty good if you do not plan to use the phone inside of a VR headset. It is also possible to choose from multiple color profiles depending on whether you like your colors to be super saturated or more realistic. Next up, the camera. It has never been a strong point of Android phones, and OnePlus has been struggling for years to release a phone with an outstanding camera. I'm sad to say the 3T still doesn't perform as well as I would like it to. It's not that it's bad, but I would define it as inconsistent. In certain conditions, the picture it produces blow me away. At other times, I cannot get a good still no matter how hard I try. On the positive side, for all of you photography enthusiasts, the stock camera app features full manual control and RAW support. On the video side, it gets even worse. Yes, it does record 4K and can do slow motion at 720p, but the image stabilization and focusing system isn't even close to the one Apple uses in their iPhones. To stop the bashing, it luckily has a USB-C port on the bottom. It enables the company's quote-unquote dash charging. In non-marketing terms, if you use the supplied power brick, it charges the phone very quickly without getting the battery hot. However, one minor flaw becomes apparent when you connect the phone to a computer. The transfer speeds are very slow. The speaker isn't anything special either. Loud and clear enough for phone calls and listening to podcasts, but not ideal for listening to music. And for those of you who are still reluctant to switch over to Bluetooth headphones, the headphone jack is still there. Luckily, this time around OnePlus didn't skimp on NFC. Therefore, it is possible to make contactless payments through Android Pay. Last, but very important aspect for many, the battery life. It's good. As with any other phone, it greatly depends on usage. It is not a problem to get a full day of use with about 5 hours of screen on time. That, in combination with the quick charging, makes it perfect for those who constantly stare into their phones. Let me go back to what I said in the beginning. The part where I say that the 3T is a better value than the 5. I look at it this way. The 3T is an overall good phone with a few niggles and no standout features. The 5 is an overall good phone with a few niggles and only one standout feature, the dual camera, but it's not particularly well executed, so I might as well not count it. And it costs more money. So again, my suggestion is, if you are in the market for a new phone and you absolutely want a OnePlus, go for the 3T. If you do not insist on the brand, the LG G6 can be found for very cheap, considering you are getting the same internals as the OnePlus 3T, but you also get most of the 2017 features like minimal bezels, water resistance, dual cameras and so on. Ultimately, the choice is yours.